or up and down. So trimming this butt hair is actually pretty imperative to the shape of the bullet. So if I get in here, and if you look, I've made this gap and this gap look fairly similar. So there's, material wise, there's about the same material here as there is on the bottom. And I can trim that a little more. Go in, get that, there's hairs all over the place. Go to the bottom here, I didn't really hit that well. So, get some of the good hair scissors to make some final adjustments. Now, the cool thing about this method is you really almost never worry about hiding the eye, because you tie it in behind the eye. All you got to do is stack this just a little bit, and the eye of the fly becomes very accessible. Then you can take and you can move that however you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work this thread up that wing and back, because I know from previous experience that I want a little more bullet head than what I have space that I left on that shank. So if I wrap up into that packed body here, it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it, but it gives me that. Take a little bit of flex cement, it'll hold that thread in that place so that when you go to stack this, you get a good uniform shaped bullet head. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is just pure out of necessity. People do bullet heads different ways. I'm going to take this, push it over, come back. Poor Sean's going to sleep because I have that. Give it a good tighten. Then, okay, I missed some. Doesn't matter, I can untighten it and do it again. Use the other side. But that's how I do bullet heads. And the reason why is because I don't have the patience to hand stack those things back. And as I'm pushing, I didn't do it. When I use the smaller one, I have a 22 case that just pops over that, and it works really well. So I just work with it until I get it where I want it. And I can tell that, you know, and that looks better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of wraps in there, tighten it up. See what I have. I'm going to throw a half hitch here because I want that to stay in if the thread breaks. And if I have this half hitch in there, it most likely will do that. I may catch one or two of those tips doing that, but those are expendable at this point. Give it a good tight, snug. Then what I'm going to come in and do is, I don't want this hair on the bottom. Really, I only want this hair roughly on the top quarter of this fly. Because if you have too much hair, it causes the balance to go off. So all I'm going to do is take this razor and chop it clean on the bottom. I'm going to come to the side here, chop those off, chop that off, blow it off so I can see what I got. If I need small trim work, that's just part of the game. Side looks good there, bottom looks decent. So just gives it a little lifelike movement on the top there. The deer head looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is flatten this thread, and I'm going to build a slight base here so I can put my legs on. So I'm going to wrap this back instead of forward, because what that does is it helps that hair lay down a little more. So now what I do for durability, because bullet heads are notoriously, they like to flare. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the flex cement and put it on the head. There's enough deer hair here, it's not going to affect the floatability of this fly if I take a little of this and just coat it. Gives it a little sparkle. Can go on that thread to help hold that thread in place. Go from there. I'm going to let that dry. While that's drying, you can see that the profile looks pretty good. I could probably, this is going to irritate me. So while that dries, I'm going to come in and just shave down a little bit there. And I got rid of some hairs that were bugging me. That's really all I was doing there. Just how that works when you get into this thing. The flex cement dries pretty quick. I really try not to touch it or do any hair work. I kind of did a cardinal sin there. The flex cement wasn't all the way dry, and I have all that little yellow hair go poof when I razor it. It could get on that head, and then you have a three-colored bullet head. So I'm going to look. I'm going to put a brown leg on this, just a rubber leg. I've done these where I put pheasant tails off the back, pheasant tail legs off the back, and hackle. But I gotta get more refined on the pheasant tail legs. They irritate me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this thread again. I'm going to come in with a loose wraps on the legs. 2 loose wraps. Then I'm going to trim it. You trim the legs to whatever, if you like really long ones, put really long ones. If you like more medium ones, put medium ones. I don't flatten it again. I'm going to go 1 and catch the bottom one. 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that these set in the same place on the side of the fly. Because if I have one high and one low, it just looks goofy. I don't think the fish care so much. But I want to make sure that I have these setting in that same area. So down a midge, a little bit. When I get that where I want, I'm going to put another wrap. Then I'm going to whip finish this, because 2, 3, pull it up. Nice little tug. The legs flare like they're supposed to. Trim. Then I'm going to cut my legs to length to match. And that is the Hitterhopper. That's in a color scheme that's very similar to what you would see with Whitlock's colors, yellow, red, I ad-libbed on the head color a little bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to finish this by putting a little drop of flex cement where the legs tie in, and on that thread to help with longevity. So, nice profile, wing, buggy, deer hair, and messy to tie, but fun to tie. You can do whoa, 100 different bugs just fell out. You can do banding. Like I said, I like natural and yellow for a lot of it. You can change the profile. This is a little skinnier than this bug. You can do all the same color in natural, real sharp. Natural hair, tan hopper. You can get tan hair. You can go smaller. This is that bug identically, just smaller. I have a lot of small streams that I fish, so that's kind of where they go and what size. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Again, there's kind of the circular, kind of a pretty modeled head. Things are dried. See the front profile. See it from the back. That heavy hooks helps balance it too, so it'll land the right way. And that's the Hitterhopper.